What is the meaning and purpose of life?
Yeah, it's a big question. So I'll give you because it's such a big question, I'll give you three answers. Uh, One is it's personal. You have to find your own meaning. Any piece of wisdom that anybody else gives you, whether it's Buddha or you or me, is going to sound like nonsense. So I think fundamentally you just have to find for yourself. So the important part is not the answer, it's the question. You just have to sit there and dig with the question, and it might take you years or decades. But when you find an answer you're happy with, that will be fundamental to your life. The second answer I would give is there is no meaning to life. There's no purpose to life. Osho says it's like riding on water or building houses in sand. The reality is you've been dead for the history of the universe, whether it's 10 billion years or more. You will be dead for the next 70 billion years or so until the heat death of the universe. And anything you do will fade. It'll disappear, just like the human race will disappear. The planet will disappear. Get to Mars, even that group will disappear. So no one's going to remember you past a certain number of generations, whether you're an artist or a poet or a conqueror or a pauper or nothing. So there's no meaning. So you have to create your own meaning, which is what it boils down to. You have to decide, is this a play that I'm going to, that I'm just watching? Is there a self-actualization dance that I'm doing? Is there a specific thing that I just desire just for the heck of it? But these are all meanings you are making up. There's no fundamental, intrinsic, purposeful meaning to the universe. Because if there was, then you would just ask the next question. You say, well, why is that the meaning? Right? So it would just be, as Richard Feynman said, it'd be turtles all the way down. The whys would just keep accumulating. There is no answer you can give to that question that wouldn't have another why. And I don't buy the everlasting afterlife answers, because it seems insane to me, with absolutely no evidence, to believe that because of how you lived 70 years here on this planet, that you're going to spend an eternity, which is a very long time, in some afterlife. What kind of silly God judges you for eternity based on some small period of time here? So I think that after this life, it's very much like before you were born. Remember that? It's going to be just like that. and when before you were born, you didn't care about anything or anyone, including your loved ones, including yourself, including humans, including whether we go to Mars or whether we stay on planet Earth, and whether there's an AI or not. You just don't care. So like I met this entrepreneur who was obsessed with Steve Jobs, and he was making all these sacrifices to try and be like the next Steve Jobs. And I said to him, do you want to be exactly like Steve Jobs right now? He said, yes. And I said, well, Steve Jobs is dead. He doesn't care about anything. He's gone, like zero. He's not registering at all. So if you want to be like Steve Jobs, you don't want to be like Steve Jobs. Just be you right now. He would trade places with you right now in an instant if he could. So I don't think there's any real meaning or purpose to life.
Just to be here. Forget about any purpose. Life cannot have any purpose. Life is the purpose. How it can have any other purpose? Otherwise you will be in an infinite regress. Then that purpose will have another purpose. Then that another purpose will have another purpose. Life has no purpose. And that's why it is so beautiful. Hindus have called it a Leela, a play. It is not even a game. Now in the West, the word game has become very, very important. Hundreds of books have been published within 2-3 years with the title Game, the Master Game, the Ultimate Game, the Game People Play, and so on and so forth. But there is a difference between game and play. Hindus have called it play, not game, because even a game has something as a purpose, a result to be attained, victory to be achieved. The opponent has to be conquered. Then a play becomes a game. Then it becomes serious. Grown-ups play games. Children only play. Just the very activity is enough unto itself. It has an intrinsic end. There is no goal added to it. Life is a Leela. It is a play. And the moment you are ready to play, you are enlightened.
And the last answer I'll give you is a little more complicated than that. From what I've been reading in science, friends of mine have written books on this, have kind of stitched together some theories, and maybe there is a meaning to life, but it's not a very satisfying purpose. Basically, in physics, the arrow of time comes from entropy. Second law of thermodynamics says that entropy only goes up, which means disorder in the universe only goes up, which means concentrated free energy only goes down. And if you look at what living things are, living systems, humans, plants, civilizations, what have you, these are systems that are locally reversing entropy. Humans locally reverse entropy because we have action. But in the process, we globally accelerate entropy until the heat death of the universe. So you could come up with some fanciful theory, which I like, that we're headed towards the heat death of the universe, where there's no concentrated energy, where everything is sort of at the same energy level, and therefore we're all one thing. We're essentially indistinguishable. And what we are doing as living systems is we're accelerating getting to that state. So the more complex of a system you create, whether it's through computers and civilization or through art and mathematics or just through creating a family, you're actually accelerating the heat death of the universe. So you're pushing us towards this point where we end up as one thing. But I think that's kind of an unsatisfying answer if you're looking for personal meaning today in your life.